Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and by the end of this video, what you'll learn is how to do computer science at UAlberta, what are the programs, what is major minor, what is an honors degree, is there an AI option at UAlberta, are there AI courses, and I'll give you exact links to the calendar page with courses and what requirements that you need to have so that you don't end up doing either the wrong degree or having an extra semester at the end when you didn't know what courses to take. So stay tuned. A quick introduction about myself. I'm a fourth year computer science student at UAlberta, and I'm doing an honors degree with an AI option at the U of A. And my core interests lie around AI and ML and RL, and I've also done a lot of software courses. And yeah, let's get right to it. Okay, so the first thing you'll have to understand your degree structure under your specific degree. So there are two major degrees that you can go for under Bachelor's of Science. So there's one called major minor and the second one's called honors. Now, if you're joining the Alberta after 2024, fall 2024, there's been a new change that has happened, and students before 2024 had different options compared to what you guys would have now. And what I'll do is I'll show you the calendar page with different options and the different requirements that you need to have, and what you can choose and what is not to click on, because there are also information about before fall 2024 degree. Okay, then let's get started. I'll show you how to search things up when you want to look at different degrees. So what you'll search is UAlberta calendar, and click on the first link that you see, and you'll be able to see the UAlberta 2025-2026 calendar, or whatever year you're in. And you go down to undergraduate programs, click on that, and what you'll see is different faculties that U of A has. You click on Faculty of Science, and now what you see in undergraduate degree is multiple options. You have general, honors, specialization, and these three are the programs that are offered before fall 2024. What you have to click on is the first link here, the majors and honors section, because that's the new program that's being offered, and you need to make sure that you don't end up looking into specialization or maybe general program requirements, which are not valid at the moment. So make sure to click on major and honors. Now, the overall differences between major, BSc and major, BSc major or BSc honors is in BSc major, you're more flexible to choose courses that you want, and you have broader choices. So you can choose into different categories of different fields that you want to go into. And in the major, you also have an option to choose a minor so that you can specialize in specific area, like minor in mathematics or economics, whatever is your liking. And in an honors degree, it is a more in-depth and higher academic expectations that they ask you. And so you need to maintain a 3.0 GPA. You need to have you need to follow their course requirements specifically, because there are many courses that are required for an honors degree, and often the honors program is chosen if you want to go into research, or if you want if you want to have that expectation set up for yourself that you want to make sure that you get 3.0, then maybe choose honors. And if you are interested in choosing those specific courses which are already listed in honors and you're doing them anyways, so might as well just go for honors. And at the end of BSc honors, there's also a requirement to finish a project-based course, and which is called Compute 469, which you do at the end of your degree or your last year of your degree. Now that you know the difference between major and honors, now what you have to think about is, what subject are you interested in? Are you 100% interested in computer science, or do you want to do a bit of math, or do you want to do a bit of econ or business or accounting with computer science? And this can be anything that you're interested in. So sit down, think about the areas that are offered, and if you're interested in math, then maybe you want to also do a major in computer science with a minor in math. Now, with subject area, when you're thinking about what to choose, you can go into the same website, and when you scroll down, you'll be able to see a section called subject areas, and you'll be able to see all the subjects that are offered in the Faculty of Science. It can be applied mathematics, and with all of these subjects, you're also able to see whether it's available as honors or major or minor, and can you do a double major, or can you maybe combine it with another subject or not. So let's go down to computer science and see what are the requirements in computer science, what options there are, maybe software, artificial intelligence, and other options. Let me click, okay, let me search up computer science quickly. Okay, so when you look up computer science, there are three major categories. There's one, computer science, which is basic computer science, and then there's something called computer science with AI option, and there's a third one, which is computer science with software practice option. Now, all of these have an honors category and a major minor category. Now let's look at computer science. In computer science, you have a lot of basic requirements like introduction to CS, so Compute 174, 175, some math requirements, and when you look at senior level courses, you have a lot of flexibility. You only have a few courses which are required. Now let's look at the AI option. With AI option, what you see here is the basic courses are the same, like the Intro to CS and different math classes. But when you go down to senior level courses, you have a lot more requirements. You have to take some AI capstone class and other classes. Now, when you look at the honors requirements here, that was just as a major. Now, if you look at the honors requirement here, you'll be able to see that the senior level classes just almost doubled. So if you're planning to take all of these classes already, I would recommend just going for an honors degree, and at the same time, you do have an expectation to hold up your GPA to about 3.0. So make sure you do that. And so yeah, when you look at this, you have a lot more requirements compared to a major in computing science. Now let's look at the software practice option here. So as a major, it's the same. You don't have a lot of requirements. You have some basic requirements, but when you go down under senior level courses, they do double up, and you do have to take a few extra courses compared to what you had to if you were just doing a major in computer science. Now, another important thing that you have to remember is, apart from these compute courses and the science courses that are required for you to take, there are also other common course requirements that you also need to fulfill. When you're back on the calendar page, here, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see common course requirements, and just above that, you'll see program requirements. So there are three major sections there are sections of requirements that you need to fulfill. There's a common course requirements that you need to fulfill. There's major, minor, or honors requirement, which I just showed you. And then there's senior science level courses that you need to fulfill. And these are just fulfilled the third one is fulfilled by other compute courses that you take. Now the first one here, the common course requirements, is an important section that you need to focus on because it's apart from all the CS courses that you have. So there are 5 major requirements. One is English or writing studies, and that's the first one. So English you have to take. Second is Indigenous courses. Third one is, so you have to take two courses in English, one course in Indigenous studies. Third one is courses outside of Faculty of Science. So that should be two courses. And then there is course within the Faculty of Science. When you're looking at these courses that you have to do, which is common course requirements, you need to remember to make sure that you're doing courses which fit into these requirements so that you're not taking extra courses at the end. And another course that you would have to take is the lab experience. So every science student needs to do one course which has a lab component. And one major thing that is not told to anyone when you're applying and when you're in the degree is that you can double dip, which what that means is you can double dip. So you can take one course which fulfills two requirements at the same time. So for example, there's English course which also teaches about Indigenous studies. So what you're doing is you're doing English and Indigenous studies with that one course. So you're saving a course that you could do in any other area, maybe computer science, and you're also saving money in a sense. And another thing that you can do is like native studies and like for example in my case I did native studies 115, which is a nice course, and I did French. Now, when I did these two courses, native studies got counted as that native studies course, but it also got counted under the two courses outside of science. Now, another thing that I did was for double dipping was in here in the courses that you have to take within science and the lab requirement course, I did physics 102 or 104. Physics 104, and that course got counted as both lab requirement and basic sciences. So I would recommend making sure that you can double dip a course so that you don't have to take a lot of these common course requirements. And second important thing that I would ask you to do is try to finish these common course requirements in your first year. Why? Because if you plan to move into another degree or a different part of Faculty of Science, then you would have these common course requirements that you can transfer into that degree. And when I was, so I joined in as computer science honors and then I moved into this AI option recently, like in fall 2024. And when I did that change, I had to take these requirements because this was not required when I joined U of A. And when I asked the department, the major reason, I was like, why do we have to do a lab course as a computer science student? It doesn't make sense. But the major reason behind that is, for example, when you come to U of A doing computer science, you're like, okay, I'm interested in computer science, you join. But then when you take the interlevel courses, you realize that's not something that I'm interested in. I want to do maybe physics or chemistry. When you want to change into that degree, these computer science courses don't end up transferring and adding to that degree. So what usually everyone would recommend is take the basic computer science courses and try to fill these common course requirements in your first year, so that if you plan to move and change your degree, you have these courses which can get transferred into that degree. Okay, so that comes to an end for this video. And a major checklist that you need to remember when you're planning to apply to the U of A is, one, deciding if you want to do major or an honors degree, and go to the calendar page and look into the requirements and understand what both of these things are, and understand what different which one has more requirements and what requirements that degree has. Second is deciding what subject to choose. Are you interested in math? Do you want to do a major in math or an honors in math? And looking into what you like is very important. And go to the same calendar page like I showed you and look up all the subjects that are available and choose your favorite subject. Now, if you're going for computer science, your third thing would be choosing different options under computer science itself. Now, if you are interested in AI and machine learning, then maybe go for the AI options because you'll be choosing those courses anyways. And if you want to do software, then maybe choose the software option and do all of those requirements. And if you want, so for me, what I did was I am in the AI option, but I'm also taking software courses. So it's not like you're restricted anyways. It is like you have to take those courses, but you also have a lot more flexibility for the free courses, like some 400 level courses that are still available. Now, in your first year, I would recommend doing most of the common course requirements and finishing those up, and also making sure that you look at the common course requirements and choose efficiently so that you don't have to do a lot of courses, and some of the courses can double dip when you choose those courses. And a quick reminder what courses can double dip. For example, English 125, it's a native studies course and an English course. NS 115, it can get counted in NS native studies and also in arts. And third course that I did was physics 124. That course gets counted as both lab experience and also basic sciences. So do those courses because they can double dip. And yeah, and the last thing, make sure you check all the requirements and send me a message if you want to know anything about computer science at the U of A. Bye-bye.